Hey guys! Today we're going to be taking a look at the Aer Slim Pouch, which is an all-new minimal tech and everyday carry organizer. And I am a huge fan of organizer pouches. I've done a ton of different videos for them on the channel in the past. Most recently I did kind of a roundup of some of my favorite slim organizational pouches. I really like slim pouches in particular as they work well for when you have a more packed out bag. So if you're traveling and you're trying to keep things a little bit lighter, I really love the use of a slim pouch, just be able to squeeze it in to a tighter spot. And so there have been some great ones that I've looked at on the channel, but I was excited to see Aer, who has made some of my favorite dop kits and other great kind of bags that I love to use, come out with a slimmer version of some of their pouches. And I've been testing this out for the past couple of weeks, and so far it's been a great experience. Like Aer's other products, this is very well built. It has a great aesthetic. I really like the amount of space that it offers, and it also just has a really effective organizational layout. So I'm really excited to share it with you guys, and I want to thank the company for sending the pouches for me to test out. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the outside of the pouch, I really like the overall aesthetic. This definitely reminds me a lot of many of Aer's other pouches and bags, so it has a very sleek, kind of modern and minimalist aesthetic. And this actually reminded me a little bit of some of their sling bags. I haven't had a chance to test out the City Sling in person, but it just has kind of that appearance. Very simple. As far as the materials, it's made out of a 1680D ballistic nylon, and the pouch is offered in a few different colors. We have a black and an olive version that have that 1680D ballistic nylon, but then they also have the heathered gray, which is a 900D eco-dyed polyester. So I've had the dop kit in this material for a while, and the travel kit in the 1680D ballistic nylon, and honestly both have held up very well. I've had them both for at least a year, even longer for some of them, and so these are pouches that I definitely believe are going to be holding up for a long time to come. In addition to the durable exterior materials, you also have some nice YKK zippers all throughout. On the front you have this nice aqua guarded zipper, and it has this locking style YKK, so you have to actually lift it up so that you can open up the compartment, and it just really feels like everything that's on the inside is going to be very well protected from the elements. And then continuing along the outside, you have the same kind of longer zipper pulls that we've seen on Aer's work collection, and so these work nicely as far as kind of being easy to pull the zippers around. They can get a little bit long and cumbersome, especially for a pouch of this size, so it might have been nice to have something a little bit shorter, but they still feel durable, easy to grab. And then you also have this nice little loop along the outside that's going to work well for clipping this onto a bag with something like a carabiner, or even if you want to hang it onto a belt or something like that. So I really like the extra versatility offered by this loop. It's also long enough that you can just kind of carry it by this handle. It has the seatbelt like material that we've seen in a lot of their products, so very comfortable, and it feels like it's going to hold up even when the pouch is a little bit more packed out and it's swinging around. And then as far as the dimensions, the pouch comes in at 9 inches by 5 inches by 2 inches, which gives it a volume of about 1.5 liters, which is a really good size for a slim pouch like this. Even though this is the slim pouch, you can see that when it's fully packed out, it can actually get a little bit thicker. It doesn't get super large like something like the Peak Design Tech pouch, but still, a little bit larger than you might expect for something that's called the slim pouch. So it can hold quite a bit of stuff, so it's nice that it gives you a little bit more flexibility. And I actually want to do a few size comparisons with other pouches that I normally feature. So the first one I want to pull up here is the Bellroy Classic Pouch, which is probably the one that this reminds me the most of as far as size and kind of functionality. So you can see they're pretty close in size. The slim pouch is going to be a little bit bigger overall, just taller and wider, but they can both hold a ton of stuff. So if you like something like the Classic Pouch but you need a little bit more space, then the slim pouch will definitely be able to provide that. The next pouch I want to showcase here is the Aer Dop Kit, which is the pouch of Aer's that I've probably had for the longest amount of time. I've had this for about 2 years, I believe, and you can see that it still looks great. Even with the 900D polyester, still looks kind of like new. I've taken this on a ton of trips, and you can see that the sizing here is pretty close. The Dop Kit is actually going to be a little bit taller or longer than the slim pouch, and I've always loved using this not only as a toiletry bag but also as a tech kit. It has a lot of great organizational options. We've done an in-depth video on this in the past. If you want to check that out, you can see that when the Dop Kit is actually completely full, though, it can start to get a lot bulkier than the slim pouch. This is pretty much at max capacity now, so just another really close size. I love the variety of options that Aer gives you as far as their pouches. And then speaking of pouches from Aer, I also have the cable kit here. So this is the V1 cable kit. I haven't had a chance to check out the updated version, and you can see they're pretty close as far as the kind of width and the length, but the cable kit is going to be a little bit taller. And when you start to pack it out, right now it's a little bit emptier, but it can really start to get bulkier when you need to have some extra, kind of items that you want to carry with you. If you have a lot of power bricks and maybe a mouse or something like that, the cable kit is going to give you just a little bit more flexibility, and it also has a lot more internal organization. So I definitely recommend you check out the roundup video that I did for some of my favorite pouches, where I go a little bit more in depth on what I carry of this. But so the Slim Pouch, again, just the smallest offering from Aer so far. And as we dive into the internals, we'll get to see also the slightly simpler layout that it has compared to those pouches. So jumping right in, on the exterior, you have a very nice, just quick access zipper that's going to be a little bit smaller for any kind of longer and smaller accessories that you want to carry with you. So as we saw earlier with the zipper, you can open this up and just reach in and grab whatever you need. So in this pocket, I tossed in a USB-C dongle for my MacBook Pro, and then I also have a little stand for my tablet and my phone. And then I also tossed in a stylus that I like to use with my tablet. And then moving into the main compartment, you have a zipper that goes all the way around, so you get a nice wide opening so you can see everything that's on the inside. I like that this pouch does have the ability to stand up on its own, so when you're at a coffee shop, you can just place this down and kind of grab whatever you need. This is also great for when you're working from home. You can just kind of move around your house and just have everything that you need regardless of where you're sitting. And the standing up, it's not quite as consistent as something like Aer's Date Pack 2, which has a very rigid kind of frame that allows it to stand up consistently. This one, when it's packed out, will stand up as you see it here, but I did notice that depending on how it's loaded, it can tend to kind of tip over. But so far it's worked well. Again, nice amount of space, even for some of the bulkier items that I like to have with me. So we'll take a look at the slip pockets and internal organization that it has in a second, but just kind of here in the middle where you have the largest amount of space, I tossed in my USB-C hub that I like to have with me to charge my MacBook and other devices. And then next to that, I tossed in my Apple AirPods. And then moving on to the side, you have a series of slip pockets on each side, so you have a lot of flexibility with how you can kind of organize everything. I'll start on the left. You have some nice larger elastic kind of mesh pockets that are going to be great for anything larger that you need to store. Because this material is so stretchy, it gives you a little bit more flexibility with what you can actually keep here. So I tossed in just a lightning cable and power brick to charge my phone. This is the USB-C power brick, which is the fast charger. And then I also tossed in a USB-C to USB-C cable that I use to charge my MacBook while I'm on the go. So, those are a nice amount of space. I really like the simplicity there. And then on the other side, you get into a little bit more organization. You have some smaller pockets and just a little bit more variety. So on the front, you have 2 additional slip pockets here that are going to be great for smaller cables or USB-C dongles that you want to have with you. So I just tossed in a USB-C to USB-C cable that pairs with my Samsung T5 portable hard drive. So both of those fit in there very comfortably. And then behind that, you have a zippered compartment that's going to be a great spot for anything that you don't want floating around this main area, particularly if you have smaller kind of SD card adapters or anything like that. What I tossed in here was just a USB-C cable that has a bunch of different connectors. And then I also tossed in the lightning adapter that I have with me for whenever I need to use wired headphones. And then I also tossed in a little lightning adapter that I like to use with my phone so I can give it some extra storage. And so a nice amount of space here, not a whole lot of internal organization, no key clip or anything like that, which might have been nice to see, but that definitely keeps all your stuff secure. And then on the back, you have a slightly larger slip pocket, which might be a great spot to store something like a phone. If that's something that you want to store here, or maybe a larger hard drive, if you don't have one of those smaller ones like the one that I had, you can kind of toss it in here. I use this as my catch-all pocket for anything that didn't fit in the rest of the pouch. So I tossed in a small Field Notes notebook, and then I have a wired set of headphones that I have with me in case my AirPods battery runs out. And then I also tossed in a little dongle that allows me to plug this into my phone and then use an HDMI cable whenever I need to. So just a really nice variety of pockets offered here. They do a good balance of offering enough organization without being overwhelming. This is one of my favorite things about something like the Bellroy Classic pouch, that because this is so simple, you can really store more than you would think. But I like that it just gives you a little bit more options than that Bellroy Classic pouch. So a really nice layout here. And in addition to working as a tech kit, you can actually also use this as a simple dop kit if you want. It's a very versatile bag because of its size and space. So if you're traveling a little bit more minimally, I'm always looking for pouches that I can toss into a travel bag that's a little bit more packed out. So for toiletries, it's definitely something that I don't like to spend a lot of space on. And so I'll just do a quick run through of how I pack this out as a toiletry bag. On that front compartment, I actually tossed in a toothbrush and a comb, just because those are some thinner items. I also tossed in some nail clippers, and then on the inside, just kind of opening this up. Again, it's super nice that I can just kind of lay this out at the bathroom and be able to grab whatever I need. So in these middle spots, I tossed in some of the larger toiletries that I like to carry with me, deodorant, shaving cream, and then also some contact solution. And then on the sides, I was able to leverage those elastic compartments, to hold something like this is some pomade that I take with me while traveling, and then some talcum powder. Even though this is a little bit bulkier, you can see it fit in there very easily. And then on the other side, with the slip pockets, I tossed in a little contact case, and then in the zippered compartment, I tossed in a small floss. So there was almost too many compartments that I didn't even know what to toss in here. I tossed in some tweezers, and then on the slip pocket on the back, I also tossed in a razor. So just wanted to throw in a few different items to show another use case for something like this. I think the default is to use this as maybe more of a tech or EDC kit, but if you're looking for a simple DOP kit and you don't want something quite as robust as the Aer DOP kit that I showed earlier in the video, then this is going to be a great option to take a look at. So all in all three pouches, the colors that are offered here have worked great. As I've been testing them out, they've held up very well. In general, I've always enjoyed using Aer's pouches a lot, and I'm definitely looking forward to putting these more to the test over the upcoming year. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the Aer Slim Pouch over the past couple of weeks. It has a great build quality. I really like its slim and minimal form factor. It offers an impressive amount of space, and I also like its internal organizational layout. And so you can currently purchase this on Aer's site for about $40, which I feel is a pretty reasonable price considering the features and build quality that the pouch has to offer, and it also compares well to other similar items in this price range. And so if you're interested in checking out some of my other favorite organizational pouches, I recommend you check out the roundup video that I did where I covered some of my favorite slim and minimal pouches that include items such as the Bellroy Classic Pouch and the Go Ruck Wire Dop. And I'm curious to hear what you guys think of the Aer Slim Pouch and how it compares to some of the other great organizer pouches that are currently on the market. And if there are any similar options that you think I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank the company again for sending the pouches for me to test out. And if you found this video helpful, please give us a like. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.